Shalom Yashrala. Brother Malak back with the biblical lesson breakdown. I'm a man of many gifts and talents, but there's nothing like the gift of prophesying. So everybody is speaking on these tariffs that Donald Trump is processing and making happen, or making manifest. Yeah, throughout the land and whatnot. And my view on it is he's a businessman. He's a businessman. So surely he knows what he's doing in the long run as far as business go. So I would never take that from him. He's putting a bind, a hold on these nations, these tariffs, and he's making these nations, humble themselves. He's making these nations have to humble down and convert, basically. But see, when you're not in this knowledge and this wisdom and this comprehension, which is top tier wisdom, and when you really don't know these scrolls and know what time we're in, then you'll just be, tossed to and fro, and just blowing with the wind, or going with the wind rather. But Daniel, let's go to Prophet Daniel. Prophet Daniel chapter 4 verse 17. It says, "This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, rules in the kingdom of men." So that's who runs the show. Yahweh, the Ancient of Days, rules in the kingdom of men, and gives it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the bases of men. And who is the base men? Who is that base men that's mentioned through the scrolls, mentioned through the scriptures? Well, it's Esau. Esau, Edom, the nation of Edom, the nation of Esau, the Amalekites, in which Yahweh Shai HaMashiach is coming back to judge, according to other prophecies. So, Yahweh is running the show. We tell you this time and time again. Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai runs the show, man. This movie, these scripts within this movie, everyone is given their lot. Everyone is given their role. You just better make sure you have a great role in this movie. And not only that, but you better hope that you have salvation and clarification at the end of this movie. Job chapter 12 verse 10, it says, "In whose hand is the soul of every living thing, and the breath of all mankind." Job chapter 12 verse 10, "In whose hand is the soul of every living thing, and the breath of all mankind." mankind. So we see in these two precepts, these two scrolls, these two scriptures, we see that Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, who the people in the world ignorantly calls God, or whatever else name, he runs it all, and he's running the show. That's what you got to know. That's what you have to know. And as far as this man system goes, it's going to always be something. It's going to always be something. Every year is something. Every year is something, man. It's always some chaos in this man system. It's always some confusion in this man system. It's always something every year. Every year is something. But that's just how it's going to be. Because that's prophecy. It's all prophecy. Let's grab that. It's always some confusion. It's always some chaos. It's always something. You know, it's never a time where you can say, man, that was a great year. That was a great year. That was a great couple of years. That was a great peaceful. That was a great peaceful period, and you're not going to ever hear that. Now, you may hear people say, even to myself, you may hear people say, speak on this nostalgia. You may hear people speak on nostalgia and speak on things that have passed. But ultimately, even within those years, it was things going down and things happening. Because this man is the wicked. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Matthew chapter 10, verse 34, it says, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. And that's what you fools think. You think that there's going to be, in totality, I should say, because there is peace, in these nice neighborhoods, these rich and wealthy neighborhoods, even to these regular middle class neighborhoods. There's a sense of peace, but peace as in world totality, it would never ever be. Ever, never, ever, never be. Peace in totality is only going to be orchestrated and Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai's kingdom. That's the kingdom of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. That's the kingdom in which these ignorant people call, Salak, in which these ignorant people, they call his name, Christ and Jesus and whatnot. And I say ignorant because the Bible is a Hebrew book. It's a Hebrew book, man, and it's made by the Hebrews. It's for the Hebrews. It's made by the Hebrews. And they spoke in ancient Paleo Hebrew. And all you have to do is look up the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Lashawan Kadash, and you'll see the names right there. Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Everything goes back to its original origins. Everything goes back to the origins. It was translated in Greek. It was translated in English. It was translated in all of these other languages. And even then, your name doesn't change. And I'm kind of drifting away from the topic, but oh well. But if you have a specific name, your specific name never changes. You know, it'd be, if you spoke Spanish, it'd be Spanish, and then they'll say your name. If you spoke, if you spoke Chinese, you'll speak Chinese, but it'll say your name. So just because the language changed doesn't mean the names change. That's how you know it was some foul play involved, some lies, some deceptions involved. And we know who done all of these things. The scrolls condemned this nation. The scrolls condemned this man. Esau, Edom, the eagles. This is what this movie is about, man. You're in the midst of a movie between two nations. And those two nations, those two nations at the forefront is Jacob. Really, they're children, but even then, it's still they are the fathers, the forefathers. So it's technically it's still them living on through their offspring and whatnot. But Jacob and Esau and Jacob. This is what's at hand. Esau and Jacob, Jacob and Esau. But back to what I was saying. Matthew 10:34 says, "Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I am come not to send peace, but a sword." So stop looking for peace in this place, because you'll never have peace in this place. "For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes should be they of his own household. He that loveth his father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth his son or his daughter more than me is not worthy of me." So there's no peace. Yahweh Shai HaMashiach did not come to bring peace on the earth, because it's not the time for peace. You can't have peace in a world in a world that's just contrary to the laws, the statutes, and commandments. Everything that this man decrees just about is contrary to the laws, the statutes, and commandments. So how can there ever be peace? And that's why I said earlier, within this lesson, within this breakdown, man, there's never a year where you can say it was just peaceful year, great year. And even though they may try to attempt to do that, or or say it was and whatnot, in totality it never was, and it's never going to be, because this is not the kingdom of peace. That kingdom is where Shiloh, or who they, his another title, Shiloh. When Shiloh comes, when Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, brings that new kingdom, that's when it will be peace and totality. Every eye will see, and it says that too. It says that they will see. It says they will see when he comes, man. When he comes in that big spaceship, in that big chariot, like off Independence Day. Yeah, all of the eyes will see. All of the nations will wail. You will see him coming in his great glory. And I'm kind of drifting off topic, but it's still tying in. But Matthew chapter 10 verse 38 says, and he that taketh not his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me. And he that find his life shall lose it, and he that loses life for my name's sake, or for my sake, shall find it. So that's going down to that. But the point is, stop looking for peace in this wicked kingdom, because you're not going to find it. When I say that, I'm saying in totality. Surely you can have your little threshold, your little space of peace. But I'm saying as far as the world goes, and as far as, totality, in totality. Luke 12, and ultimately when you're in this hedge of protection, when you're in the hedge of protection of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, yeah, we have peace. We have peace, we have order, we have protection. We have all of that. We have the knowledge, we have the understanding, the comprehension, we have all of that, because we're truly abiding in what Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai says do. So yeah, we have that peace and protection, just like all of our ancestors that follow Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And I want that precept. Actually, it's a precept that says scripture, scroll, precept, whatever. It goes something like roughly paraphrase. Was any of those that follow Yahweh ever condemned? I can't. It's not ringing a bell all the way, but was any one of those that trust in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai ever condemned? And that's how the prophecy goes. Let's see if I can grab it. Was any of those that ever condemned? There's something along those lines. Something. Let's see if we can pull it out. This is a good precept too. This is not the one I want, but this can do. John chapter 3 verse 18. It says, he that believe on him, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, is not condemned. This is not the precept I want. It was the other one that I wanted, but this one is decent. He that believes on him is not condemned, but he or she that believes not. So if he or she that believes on him, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, is not condemned, but he that believe not, he or she is condemned already, because he or she, it says he, but speaking of all mankind, you women too, and of course you men, and even to you teenagers. It says, because he have not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. But the one I wanted is it's another precept I wanted, to where it says, have any of those that trusted in Yahweh ever been condemned or whatnot? It's another precept, but that it is what it is. Luke chapter 12 verse 49, it says, for I am come to send fire on the earth. This is Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. And both times when Yahweh Shai spoke, it was in red letter. So it's no peace, man. It's never going to be no peace on this. I should say, it's never going to be peace in totality when this devil is ruling. The only peace that you really have is in this knowledge, this wisdom, this comprehension. And ultimately, the only time peace is going to come in totality is when Yahweh Shai comes down to rule on this planet. When he comes to lay down the holy law, when he comes to establish his kingdom on this earth, according to Daniel 7. That's when we will have peace in totality. Every knee will bow and every tongue will confess. Every knee will bow and every tongue will confess. So that's when you're going to have peace in totality. And who's going to be in the forefront of that kingdom? And you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians. You're going to be the forefront in that kingdom because that's our kingdom. The Israelites. And that's all through Daniel 7. So I'll draw back to prophet Daniel. Daniel chapter 4 verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that Yahweh, says Most High, but we know that's Yahweh, rules in the kingdom of men, and give it to whomsoever he will, and set up over it the bases of men. And this is why you have the bases of men ruling, and this is why you have no peace, and you always have some distractions, and you always have some war on chaos, and you always have some this, some that, and you got this war and this problem and that problem. It's always some garbage. So just to bring it all the way back to the main subject. So Trump, everybody's mad at Trump. Everybody's mad at Donald J. Trump. Trump is doing this, he's doing that. He's not what we thought. He finessed us. He finagled us. We've been bamboozled. Trump. Donald Trump this, Trump that, Trump. He's not this, he's not that. He's messing up. He's putting tariffs on everything. He prices. You hear all of this complaining about everybody complaining about Donald Trump. And my thing is, hey man, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah runs the show. Let's elaborate on that. It says the king, what is it? The king's mind is in the hand of Yahweh. How does that prophet, that scroll go? That precept goes. The king, because he is technically, a king in some sort, because he is our president. Even though Israel, our president is Yahweh Shai. The Israelites, we have no heathen authorities over us. We are the Israelites. Who are the Israelites? You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians. But just for what it's worth, he would be considered, a king to some degree. And he's even talking like it. He said it. I just heard that rumor. Well, it's not even a rumor. They said that he said he likes when these nations have to bow. He likes when these nations have to humble down and bow, to America and whatnot. And they call him a tyrant. They call him all type of stuff. And like I say, man, I have no dog in this race. I have no dog in this race. I have no dog in this fight. I don't care for politics. I have no dog in this fight. They're all sellouts. They all have been sold, bought, sold, and told, and fold, and fool's gold. It's all garbage. But what is it? What is that precept? The king's mind is in the hand of the Lord, basically. See, but this is what we prophets been telling you, man. We've been telling you this. We apostles, we prophets, we true biblical scholars of Hebrew blood. That royal Israelite, that royal Hebrew blood runs through our veins. It runs through our veins. This is why we're able to connect back to these scrolls, connect back to this book, because it's truly ours. But the king's mind is in the hand of the Lord. What is that? The king's mind is in the hand. The king's mind is in the hand. Proverbs. There we go. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 1. It says, the king's heart, mind, is in the hand of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Yahweh. As the rivers of water, he turns it wheresoever he will. So this is just more witnesses, more precepts on nobody controls their way, man. You may think you control your way. You may think that you're going to get up and do this and do that. You don't control nothing. The man above, which is Yahweh, he controls everything. He controls everything. So just to bring it, to tie everything back. So they're mad at Trump because the poor, you're going through it. These prices, the economy, and these jobs, these layoffs, all of this stuff is just garbage. It's all garbage. Ultimately, it's garbage. When you really have the wisdom and the knowledge and to really understand what's at play, you realize it's all garbage. It's not even going to be here for too long. This place is bound for destruction. This place is bound for destruction. This is word to the book. This is word to the book, man. This is word to the prophecies that's written in this marvelous book, Babylon, which is America. It doesn't have long. It doesn't have long. But James 5:1 on down, it says, go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. You have heaped treasures together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers, which have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth, and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as a day of slaughter, as in a day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he does not resist you. So this is just going into these rich men, these rich women. And there's nothing wrong with being rich, but it's about the way you went about to grab your riches. And we know how America has went about to grab, to sustain its wealth, riches, and power. And we know how certain individuals do the same through lies, deceit, etc., etc. Let's go with, as a matter of fact, the prophecies speak on that. Let's grab that. Sirach chapter 12. Sirach. See, man, you can't say we not the prophets, man. You can't say we not those men coming back. You can't say that what we're saying is not the truth, even though it's so many scoffers and mockers and unbelievers. And I don't care, man. I don't care if you believe or not. And surely those men that Yahweh has risen up, that's in this thing, they don't care either. We tired of trying to tell you people the truth, trying to get you to listen, and you don't listen. And we're not perfect. We're not perfect at all. But we got to be worth it. We got to be worth it because we understand this knowledge, this wisdom. We understand what's at play. So we got to be worth it. Romans 3:3, just to touch on that, it says, "For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai without effect? Yahweh forbid. Yeah, let Yahweh be true, but every man a liar, and every woman, for that matter, a liar. As it is written, that thou mightest be justified in the sayings, and mightiest overcome when thou art judged." So we don't care if you don't believe. I don't care either, because it's not like your faithlessness and your unbelief. It's not like it's going to change the tide of prophecy. It's not like It's not like you're going to change the tide of prophecy. You can stick your head in the sand all day long. The prophecies are still going to commence. But let's get back to James chapter 2, verse 6. It says, but ye, no, I wanted Sirach. My fault. Let's grab Sirach. Sirach chapter 10, verse 8. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So this is how, like I was touching on, how most of these rich people and wealthy people and super wealthy, this is how they got it. Ultimately, these nations stole the wealth from us. They stole our wealth. Who are we? We are the Israelites. They stole the wealth from the Israelites. Sirach 10:8, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. It's all biblical prophecy. And this is why it says in Psalms 83, let's grab that, Psalms 83, King David, King David, King David. I can't wait, man. I can't wait to meet King David. I can't wait to see King David, Abraham, Jacob. You know how amazing that's going to be. The Maccabees, man, to talk and see the Maccabee brothers, man, and see all of the righteous men and women, Esther, Abigail, Sarah, the kingdom of heaven, and the regeneration, man. It's going to be marvelous. It's going to be a marvelous time. Psalms 83, it says, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Who are the hidden ones? It's you Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians. There's 12 tribes, 13 tribes technically, if we count the tribe of Dan. It says they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel, Jacob, may be no more in remembrance, for they have consulted together with one consent. This is what these heathen nations have done to us Israelites. This is how they got those riches. As it says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. It says they are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, Esau, and the Ishmaelites, Ishmael, and the Moab, and the Hagarenes, Jebel, Ammon, Amalek, Philistines, all of these heathen nations, man. This is why you all have great judgment. So everybody is howling about Babylon, crying about Babylon, crying about the king of Babylon and what he's doing over Babylon. And us prophets, us apostles, us teachers, us scholars, we're just sitting back, enjoying the show. Because it's not going to get better. As I told you earlier within the lesson, Yahweh Shai is not coming to send peace. He's not coming to send peace in totality. Really, yeah, he's not coming to send peace to this place. It says, Proverbs 29:2, it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bears rule, the people mourn. And that's all you see throughout the land, especially here in America and Babylon. Prices on food, tariffs, jobs, wages. The wages sucks. Everything's expensive. It's just garbage, man. The society is garbage. The way these women think, the way these men think. The food, the GMOs, the pesticides, the fluoride, the chemtrails, the lies, the deception, the agendas, the propaganda. It's all garbage. Now, with that being said, I mean, America is still, and I hate to say this, but I'm a truther. I'm not a liar. We stand for truth. America still is better than most countries. But hey, I'm still going to call her out. And not only I, but Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, he's going to call her out too. Let's grab Revelations chapter 18. Revelations chapter 18, verse 4. You know what? I'll hold that prophecy. We'll grab another prophecy. Jeremiah. Let's go to Prophet Jeremiah. Prophet Jeremiah 51. Prophet Jeremiah 51. Prophet Jeremiah 51, verse 45. Verse 45. 45, verse 45. Actually, I'll start at 44 because that ties in. I'll start at 44, Prophet Jeremiah 51, verse 44 to 45. And I'll start at 44 because it ties in right with Revelations 18. It says, and I will punish Bel in Babylon. And where is modern Babylon? You idiots. America is Babylon. America is mystery Babylon. We is Babylon, man. It says, and I will punish Bel in Babylon, and I will bring forth out of his mouth that which he hath swallowed up, and the nations shall not flow together any more unto him. Yea, the wall of Babylon shall fall. Verse 45, the point, it says, my people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. So Yahweh is stirring up Babylon. He's going to destroy this place. Like I said, he controls everything. Revelations 18:4 says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come up out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached into heaven, and Yahweh has remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled to her double. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her spirit, her mind, her heart, I sit as a queen, I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, mourning, famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her. It says, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her. And that's when all of these little nations, that's when they all team up You know, they all going to team up. You remember Power Rangers, man? I don't know if you remember Power Rangers, man. You know how the Power Rangers all formed up and teamed up to make the Megazord, or the whatever, I forget the name of the machine thing that they teamed up and turned into. All of these nations are going to team up like that and come against Babylon, come against America. And you see it. Donald Trump with these tariffs, putting a chokehold on these nations, you know, making them have to you know, have to humble down eventually, and they already been pissed anyway. But they're going to get even more madder and more pissed. Why? Because Yahweh is going to put it on their on the king's mind, on the spirits of the people, and they're going to come up against Babylon. And that's where you have Jeremiah 51, Jeremiah 50, Revelations 18, Isaiah 13, Isaiah 14. That's where you have, you know, these nations turning their attention on the whore. As the prophecy speaks, they will turn on the whore. They will hate the whore. That woman in red scarlet that sits on the beast. They're going to turn on the whore. It says Isaiah 31, man. Isaiah 31, verse 1. It says, woe to them that go down to Egypt. And this is what we tell you out there on those highways and hedges. This is what we tell you through these digital or video epistles. You know, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, which is Babylon, which is America, which is really any nation that's not abiding with Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. It says, woe, destruction, destruction to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. It says, but they look not unto the Holy One, Yahweh, the Ancient of Days, man, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, the Holy One of Israel, because they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahweh. So, you know, that's what's coming to you. And that's why you're all flabbergasted. You're all out of whack about what goes on in this filthy place. But those that's in this, you know, that's in the hands of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, we have a certain peace. You know, we have a certain no. We have a certain peace and a certain no, because it only gets worse. The prophecy states that it only gets worse. It gets worse and worse and worse until it finally explodes. This is what the prophecies speak of. And, you know, they like to call us the prophets of doom, the prophets of gloom and doom. But what else is a prophet's job? What else is a foreseer's, a foreseer, a foreshadower, technically a future teller, a holy future teller. What else is our job? Why else were we put here? It's not by coincidence we know this knowledge. It's not by coincidence that our spirit bear witness. It says Psalms 34:7. It says, the angels of the Lord of Yahweh encampeth around about them that fear him and delivers them. So this is why we're not worried about the madness and the chaos to a wholesome degree, really to a full degree, because once you know the secrets, if I die, then that was God's plan. If that happens, that was God's plan, or who you call God. If anything that happens, we know it was Yahweh's plan. And this is how I always walk through life. I don't care. I really don't care because it's all Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai's plan anyway. Yahweh brings death. Yahweh brings life. Yahweh controls the spirits. It's all about Yahweh. So when you understand that, when you have this knowledge, this comprehension, when you have the Ruach Hadash, when you have this anointing, you really, you're secured spiritually. But it's the people in Babylon, it's the people in these other nations, it's the people that don't understand. They're going to be going out of their minds. They're going to be losing their minds. Psalms 34:7, it says, the angel of Yahweh encampeth around them that fear him and delivers them. So, I'm going to end it with that. I was kind of long-winded. Didn't want it to be this long. I like to keep my vids really around like the 25 mark. But the spirit be spiriting. The spirit gets the spiriting. So it is what it is. And like I said about these tariffs and Donald Trump, he's a businessman. He's an entrepreneur. He goes where the money at. He knows how to make the money. So just think, right now, everything is, in turmoil right now. And then a couple months down the line, or maybe a year down the line, and then everything picks up and goes back to normal, or what they call normal. And then, what's going to be the response then? Then they're going to be calling him a great businessman. Then they're going to be calling him a great president. Then they're going to be calling him this and that. So we know how the story goes, man. But the point is, man, we're not swayed. We're not swayed. We're not moved by all of this propaganda and all of this garbage. With that, I'm going to say, Kohalam la Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakat Kadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakat Kadash.